future mother-in-law, female, 65, is accusing me, female, 25, trying to poison her. My fiance, male, 30, wants to sell our portion of the house because she is taking things a little too far lately. We went 65 over 45 on a house with mother-in-law because her husband had suddenly passed away last year and she couldn't afford the house she was in. So we get this new house and we paid the bigger half of the payment and have been living here for almost a year now. For the first half year of living here, I made breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day for the three of us. Cleaned dishes the mother would leave in the sink all the time. I mopped, swept, cleaned up and just took care of the house inside and out, and didn't complain about anything. I thought it was easy living. Well, time goes on, and we notice that his mother is just watching the news from sun up to sundown. And she just started to get angry and write rants all over Facebook and actually got banned for ranting and saying racial slurs. I would also see her make nasty faces at some of the food I cooked, and it was actually some of the best meals I made. Then when we watched TV with her, she made the most awful racial remarks I have ever heard come from an old white lady. So day after day, she is doing all this crazy stuff and just giving us a headache. So we start to ignore her and just try to live our lives with this investment we call a house. Well, I guess she had her tipping point with us ignoring her for her outlandish behavior, and she sent us an email saying that she thinks we don't want to live with her anymore and that we can sell the house. My boyfriend emailed her back saying some stuff that we were uncomfortable with and that he doesn't want to sell the house BC it's a good investment, and she blew up and basically said stuff like BLM is trying to take over and tear this country apart. She said it's basically not her fault that everyone else wishes they were white. She said I tried to poison her. She said a lot of crazy stuff. I'm actually really scared of her because she is always saying very awful things about my race and about me, now saying I'm trying to do away with her. We are looking to sell our half of the house. What can come of this legally? My boyfriend is totally on track with everything I feel. We both think she is going insane. Should I get a lawyer as she is saying that I'm trying to poison her? Can she get the bottle she think that I touched tested? I think once she hears we do want to leave this property and her, she will do everything to try to duck us over. What do we need to watch out for? I don't feel safe with her. TLDR, mother-in-law is going insane and thinks I'm trying to do away with her. We want out of this house and want to live alone finally in peace. I'm really scared about what she might do to prevent our happiness. She is acting really creepy / scary. If anyone need any more info, I'm glad to share. Mel tried to do away with me for the 6th time last week. Quick edit. I should have written in my original post that I'm trying to end the cycle of offense. The first step for me is putting it out there. Once it's out there, I have to deal with it. I can't hide and hurt anymore. I can only look forward from here on out and do what I feel is best for my family, even if that means no grandparents. I have so much built up anger in me over the crap my Mel has pulled in the last 17 years I've been married to her son. I have never had to try so hard to be the bigger person and not lash out or speak my mind. There are consequences when someone challenges her by saying no to her, or if she feels slighted in any way. More often than not, the kids are the ones who suffer because they get iced out by them along with us. So I'm always torn about every interaction I have with her because I don't want the kids to think they've done something wrong because she won't see them while she is punishing us for whatever we did or didn't do. I'm new here, so please bear with me. I'm also typing this up on my phone, so it's going to be crap anyways. I've decided to list the top 4 things, not in any particular order, that are burning me up inside today. My Mel does not respect the rules and boundaries I have set for my boys. The number 1 rule right now we are trying to impress upon her is to not to reward tantrums with candy, toys, money, or a special trips to Chuck E. Cheese. She rewards that behavior because tantrums are embarrassing and doesn't want that kind of attention. Myself and so don't tolerate tantrums or reward crap behavior. Every time I ask her to respect our rules, she always says that she's the grandma and it's my fault they have tantrums at her house. They only have tantrums at her house or in her presence. My kids know that crap doesn't fly in our home, but they know it gets them things when she's around. So here is where it becomes an even bigger issue. She decided to end her retirement to work part-time at both ducking schools as a sub/teacher's aide. Apparently she can't trust us to take care of our kids' education and just had to come out of retirement to help guide them. My youngest son is in preschool and had one of the worst days he has ever had at school because he was tired from waking up before dawn and not being able to get what he wanted with her in the room. She was working with other kids at the time and he hated something he was doing and started crying and carrying on. Well, grandma wasn't able to bribe him. So she tried to pressure the teacher into sending him home because she thought he was being shame upon her. Well, they didn't send him home. But I did get a ducking lecture about how immature he is and how I can't allow him to act out like that. Now she has decided she doesn't want him to go into kindergarten because he is so immature. Are you ducking kidding me? My 5-year-old is immature. He's ducking 5 years old. If you don't want this behavior or feel he's too old for it, then don't reward the ducking behavior. I don't understand how she doesn't see it. It's not me. We don't have these problems at home, it's only when she's around. She constantly reminds me that I don't have a family outside of them. My bayo mom and dad are toxic people. They have mental health issues that they refuse to address. I had to cut them out of my life so I could have a life. It wasn't an easy decision to make, but it was the best decision I have ever made for myself and my family. My mil has some knowledge of the cruelty and neglect I suffered while I was child, but I don't let her know everything. I don't trust her to know me and be respectful of my past. She has told me twice now that I can't keep parents, so how would I know how to be one? That's a ducking dagger in my heart. I sat there and I took it because I don't want to rock the boat. She has this thing called a daughter days where she invites everyone who is a daughter to do something fun, but I'm not invited because I'm no one's daughter. I wished for a long time that someday we would have a good relationship, but that wish faded that day she said that. I didn't deserve that. I don't want to celebrate her as a mother this weekend. According to her, I don't have any mothers to celebrate. I have multiple severe allergies. She knows this and knows that nut traces will send me into anaphylactic shock. She has accidentally contaminated my food on Christmas Eve for the last 3 years running. While I'm at the hospital fighting for my life, they're opening extra gifts at the house. If she doesn't want me there, she could just say so. She doesn't have to attempt to do away with me. I no longer eat or drink anything while at her home. I have begged her to not let the kids have peanut butter at her house and have provided safe option that they love, but it gets sent home unopened every time. But she does feed them peanut butter, never washes their hands, face or even change clothes if they get it all over themselves. Last week she gave my youngest a peanut butter sandwich, didn't say a word until I started to swell up and hive out, trying to frantically figure out what the heck just happened and where did I left my bag with the EpiPen in it. I'm not asking her to do these things to make her life harder. I ask she does her part. If she doesn't want to use the safe seed butter, I just want to breathe. But duck me for being selfishness and wanting to breath. I found out the last time this happened she told everyone there that I'm just seeking attention. I can think of several different ways to get attention other than passing away in front of my children. I work in crisis management field. I get nothing but calls from self-destructive or vicious people all day and night. When I'm at work I can't talk to her because she isn't a priority. I'm not going to put someone on hold who has a gun to their head because my mill is calling. If I don't answer her call right away she'll blow up my phone. She has told me on several occasions she expects me to answer her call no matter what's happening at work. No. Sorry, not sorry. You think you're more important than people in legit crisis. The whole gun to the head thing really ducking happened and she blew up my ducking phone until I was able to answer. When I told her I was in the middle of an active self-destructive call and couldn't answer right away, she then accused me of ignoring her because I never want to talk to her because I'm such a bee. She's right, I didn't want to talk to her. I wanted to figure out where that kid was so he didn't finish himself off. But she's right, I'm a total bee for doing that. Her daughter told me that I can't use self-destruction as an excuse to ignore her all the time. She only calls me when I'm at ducking work. What the duck am I supposed to do? I will never be good enough, smart enough, or enough of anything to her. I've accepted that about our relationship. I'm only tolerating this behavior because I don't want to hurt my kids by depriving them of their grandparents. But I'm starting to think that they need to be phased out, just like my Bayo parents. My so and I are debating about moving out of the state. I feel like we need to have a physical statewide buffer between us. She won't follow us if we move, so this seems like the best option. We can tell them, and the kids were moving, because we have gotten a job offer we couldn't refuse. I don't know. I'm just ducking tired of her crap. Thank you for reading my long post.